All right, we are back with Title TBD.
We're back again.
Oh, well, we can't really be back if we haven't started.
It depends.
It depends, yeah. We haven't created a title yet, but we'll go with Title TBD for now. Isn't that right, Matai?
Yeah,
Mr. Schwager. All right, so today we'll be analyzing Dweibutsi.
By who?
What's his name again?
By transition.
By Transition? You sure?
Yeah, that's the band
All right.
name.
The band name is Transit. No, it isn't.
Yeah, it
You're
is.
full crowd. It is? Oh, okay. Then Dweibutsi by Transition. So, for any of you who have not heard the song, it's a very powerful song. It's really trying to send a very powerful message, and we're trying to break down and analyze that message, find that literature, the literature inside of it, really find why everybody loves this song so much, why it is so important to Chinese and American culture, because this song is just, oh man, it is just, and we're trying to really analyze why it's so powerful. So let's dig in, shall we?
Yes.
The first, we will break it down to the Chinese. We'll say the Chinese lyrics, and then we'll break it down into what the English meaning is, and then what the meaning behind that meaning is. All right. So let's start with 对不起 with the 中文不好. That's how the song starts, isn't that right, Matai? Yeah.
Really
So it starts like that, and that in Chinese, if you guys don't speak Chinese, it means sorry. My Chinese isn't very good. Now, a lot of people would just hear this and they'd be like, oh, okay, their Chinese isn't good. But we're really trying to get past those, bass pieces. The only bass we want here is bass and sound, am I right? Yeah! Bass and sound. That's his band, by the way. Anyway, you should check it out on Spotify. Yeah. And SoundCloud, right? SoundCloud? Yeah.
Born in the movies.
Born in the movies, yeah. Okay, anyway, sorry. I digress. Or as you say in Chinese, I digress.
Digest.
All right. So the real meaning behind this, sorry I don't speak Chinese, is it's trying to get us to realize that not everybody speaks the same language, that we really need to learn to understand each other before necessarily speaking the same language. If you go to another country, if you're visiting another country, you need to really understand, you need to try to understand the culture and try to be good to the people, try to be friends, 朋友, as they say in Chinese, without necessarily knowing the language too well yet. It's very strong, really, really important. Now, let's dive into the second verse. It is 对不起 twice, which we'll get into the meaning of two later, but 对不起我不知道你说什么 which, yes, if you don't speak Chinese, it means sorry, very sorry. I don't know what you're saying. Because not everybody knows what everybody's saying. Even the same language, we don't always know what we're saying. It's like, what's up, I'm saying. It's like, what are you saying? I don't know. See, the same language, but different ways of talking. We don't always know what each other are saying, and we have to understand through messages, through body language, and through the power of our intellect. We have to understand as well as we possibly can, because when language fails, so much more speaks. Anyway, let us dive into the next verse. Well, it goes back and says, 对不起.
It's a line, not a verse.
Sorry, 对不起, as they say in Chinese.
Yeah.
It says 对不起 with the 中文不好 again. We already talked about the importance. And then 对不起, two again. That's very important. We'll go back to that though. 对不起, 我只想跟你当朋友. Now, this is very significant. This is, if you don't speak Chinese, again, in English, this means, sorry, my Chinese isn't very good. I just want to be your friend. And this is so important. You see, just because we don't speak the same language doesn't mean we can't be friends, If I want to go to France and I don't speak French, I can still be friends with the French people, because at the end of the day, language isn't all that speaks. Our hearts speak as well.
So if you don't really like speak the same language, how are you gonna be friends?
Well, because it's like this. Da-da. See, he didn't understand what I just said. I don't even know what language I just said. It's not even a real language, but he didn't understand what I said. Ah, Panyo!
Yep, that one.
See,
That's
now we're best friends, but we didn't even have to speak.
I didn't even know what he said.
We didn't even have to speak.
I didn't even know what he said a single time.
And now, it's so important. All right, now let's
Get into the verse.
get into the first verse. Now,
First verse.
it starts with hello. Now let's just stop right there. Hello.
He
That
said
is
hello, and he's
so
singing
powerful.
Chinese.
Now he's singing in Chinese, and he stops to say hello in English. English hello, and it really just shows how powerful the English language is. Everybody knows little bits of. I mean, hello. If you say hello to somebody, people know hello. And it is a way to communicate with those even if they do not know the same language.
Aloha.
Hello. It's powerful. It shows that this guy isn't just an American, just as we find out later in the song, an English gentleman, but he is a person who is visiting China and who just wants to get friends. It's important. Yeah. And the next verse is Ni hao ma, which if you don't speak Chinese, it means how you doing? Or as, yeah, how you doing?
How are you?
Or how are you? And see, this is very important because we don't always know how people are, you know? They use these facades, you know, and they walk around acting all good and oh fine, you know, but sometimes they're not fine. Sometimes you're not fine. And this is so powerful because it shows that not everybody is fine, not always. Not everybody is fine always, okay? It's very powerful, all right? And sometimes saying how you doing isn't enough, you know? And sometimes you don't want to just walk through the streets. I hate that when people walk by and they're like, hey, how you doing? And then they walk away. No, that's so dumb. No, because you don't actually care. If you care, then stop. Have a conversation. Say, Matai, how are you doing? And when they respond with, good, because everybody responds with that, then you say, why is that?
And then I say, well, Elisha,
Yes, Matai.
I wish I could tell you, but the thing is, I'm not actually doing good.
See?
I've actually put on a mask.
See?
Behind that mask is my true self. With that true self, I am doing terrible.
See? Thank you. I understand how hard that was but see, it's not. This is the face of so many Americans, and yet we say ni hao ma. We say how are you doing, and we don't care. And then we Americans, we say how and how zi le. All different ways of saying good, very good, extremely good, but we don't always mean it. In fact, we usually don't. Now,
Yeah?
你的英文好好听。你是美国人吗？并不是美国人，我是一位洋国绅士。如果你有心听，你会了解我。All right, so that was the rest of the. Hold on a sec. Sorry. All right, so that was the rest of that. Whoops. Verse. So what that basically means is, your Chinese sounds great. Are you American? And then he says, no, I am not American. I'm an English gentleman. If you listen carefully, you will understand me. And that's That's really what this is all about. Really, we need to listen carefully. We